Hi, and welcome to Freelancer Showcase, hosted by Slice Creative Network and TETV. My name is Melody Matheny, and I'm the founder of Slice Creative Network. Today, we're here to meet a wonderful freelancer who we know and love in the Orlando area named Brandon Rubino. Welcome, Brandon.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Hi, thanks so much for coming on.
Yeah, this is great. This is exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I can't wait to see your work. So, Brandon, let's tell our viewers, what disciplines do you work in?
I am a environmental graphic designer and also an attraction designer.
All right, cool. And where have you worked in the past?
All over the Orlando area, primarily in the major parks. So a lot of work in SeaWorld, some Universal and International Universal Studios work, and Disney most recently.
Gotcha. So clearly you're in Orlando, but if you were offered work elsewhere, might you consider moving or taking a job in another part of the country?
Yeah, definitely. I'm very interested in Los Angeles, so that's always near and dear to my heart. So yeah, I'm definitely open for other opportunities in other places.
Excellent. Thank you. Well, let's get started. I can't wait to see your work. Can you open up your portfolio for us?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
All right, so this is one of my attractions that is near and dear to my heart. This was a project I did for SeaWorld in San Diego, California. And it was an attraction that I got to work on, not just as a graphic designer, but as a design manager. And I started this attraction from concept blue sky all the way into opening day and working with the teams to put it together and the managers and the team members inside the park to run it. And it was a virtual reality experience. It was a small boutique experience that held about 10 guests. And they would go into this themed room that looked very futuristic. And it would show a little 5-minute virtual reality presentation. So for this project, I did work with a lot of other companies and vendors to create and develop these scenic designs, make approvals for the scenic designs, and implement some of the graphics as well that go in here. I managed a lot of the lighting crews and the sound crews and the virtual reality team. I put together signage, both safety signage, wayfinding signage and graphic signage, as well as graphics that went inside the interior of the room, onto the VR headsets and etc. I also worked with the teams to develop an SOP for standard operation procedures so that they could operate the attraction on opening day. So that was one that I'm very proud of. This one is SeaWorld's Sesame Street that opened last year. And I got to work on a lot of signage and environmental graphics. So different types of food carts, food trucks, and merchandise carts, as well as some graphics for some of the interactive games that they had. This is an example of the food trucks. So this was both the graphic wrap that went on the trucks and the food menus that were printed and put on the side of the trucks as well. I also did some interior exterior design for Sesame Sips, which was their standalone icy smoothie beverage station that they have in the area. I did digital menus that animate and move for flat screen TVs that they have there, as well as worked with some of the signage and colors and paint and stuff like that, and help make call outs for this area so that everything kind of goes together. Infinity Falls is another SeaWorld project. This was taking an existing interior and remodeling it to match the attraction that was being built around it. Originally, this was the old brew house back in the Anheuser-Busch days where you get your free beer. It has been remodeled to match the Infinity Falls water conservation theme that the attraction that they built outside has. And you can see the concept and kind of the final. For this one, I did have to pick different types of paint, do different types of finishes and treatments, tile for the floor, and kind of, the countertops, everything to kind of make this all come together and live in this area. Discovery Point Plaza was another one of these remodels I did. There is a lot of graphic design here, from signage to interior and exterior remodels as well. So there is a lot of interior focus for the retail side, picking finishes, tile, and different paint colors to remodel this area. This was just a gift shop that then turned into an entire plaza. So this whole area kind of got remodeled. So there's different paint and signage to kind of fit into this theme that they did, including original sign work here for the sweet treats. This is another one that was for SeaWorld. This was High Seas Market. Again, it's graphics, signage, and just a remodel, working with Coca-Cola to implement their brand and what they needed for this little food area. Here is some concept art that I have done recently for an interactive kind of 80s bar theme. That's a selfie moment. Here is another little piece of key concept art that I threw together. This uses a lot of 3D modeling along with like some Photoshop and photo manipulation. Working for Disney, I did a lot of graphic design. I worked on the retail side for Disney, so I did a lot of visual merchandising. So there was a lot of signs for different holidays and seasonal events, as well as graphics that had to match with certain types of merchandise. Here are some posters and signage I did for water parks. Here is some Toy Story 4 premiere graphics. This used IP and characters that had a lot of rules and regulations to it on how you could use these IPs and characters. It also had to use these characters in a way that promoted the new film and had to match with the merchandise and in different locations inside the park and in the gift shops. Also, thanks to 2020, I have learned some new skills. So I am currently working with Blender and 3D modeling. Here is a preview of a set design that I am working to create in 3D and then print using a 3D printer to create little miniature models. And I have had previous experience in making models, not with 3D printers, but by hand using the traditional theater methods. With paper, cardstock, crescent board, those types of things. And there's another model right there, as you can see. And then that is all.
Awesome, Brandon. Thank you so much. So great stuff, Brandon. Now, I know that at the end there, you talked a little bit about some of the other disciplines that you work in, but I wanted to kind of expand on that a little bit. So at the beginning, we described you as an attraction designer and graphic designer, but it seems like you're doing a lot of other things as well. You're dabbling in 3D design. You mentioned show set design. Can you talk to us a little bit more about some of the other disciplines that you've been dabbling in?
Yeah, of course. Well, you know, working with these companies and working in the parks, you have to wear many hats, and that's something I've been very fortunate to do. So design management has been a really big part of what I do, working with the graphics team, working in the retail side, and kind of making sure that everything flows and goes together, especially with a lot of those interior and exterior designs. If you are taking an existing gift shop or a food place and you're turning it into something to match a new attraction, you want to make sure that those things match and all go together. So I do a lot of that. I also, because of COVID, have been working on my 3D modeling skills. So I've gotten a lot better at SketchUp. I started working in Blender. I did just purchase a really crazy 3D printer. So I'm trying to 3D print things and make models and kind of get into that 3D space as well, getting back to my old scenic design roots.
Awesome.
So between that and the graphic design and you know, a little bit of the attraction design and concept art in between, I try to wear as many hats as I can to get the job done.
Great. So tell us a little bit more about what programs you use to create the attraction designs and the graphic designs. Tell us about those programs.
Yeah, so the main set of programs that I use, of course, is Photoshop and Illustrator. That is my go-to for graphic design. I do a lot of package design as well. Package design as in show packaging, so putting together huge documents to showcase new attractions or new designs. And so that will be an InDesign project using that. And then I've been dabbling in Blender, as I have said. So Blender is a new one. SketchUp is also one that I use quite a bit, especially for doing some of the concept art and getting the realistic lighting and angles and stuff like that. So those are my main go-tos. And then, of course, Microsoft Office and all the standards as well.
The staples. Cool.
The staples, yep.
The staples. Great. Okay. Well, how can people contact you? What's your website?
Yeah, you can find me on my website. It is brandonrubino.com. You'll know that you got there because it's super cool and 80s looking. So that's where I live. And then, email is always the best way to reach out to me. And then also on LinkedIn, I'm there as well. So you can find me on LinkedIn.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being on the show, Brandon. I'm so happy to have you and be able to showcase your work to the world.
Well, thank you. That was fun.
Good. Thanks. And for those of you out there watching, if you'd like to find Brandon and other very talented creative freelancers in the theme park industry, please visit us at www.slicecreativenetwork.com. Thanks.